Man, Russell Brand pissed somebody off, and they are out to get him. Allegations from over 10 years ago claiming that he's guilty of sexual assault. Here's his denial.
Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique, attack, and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story, I am the news. I've received two extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff, like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent. And I'm being transparent about it now as well. And to see that transparency metastasized into something criminal that I absolutely deny makes me question, is there another agenda at play? Particularly when we've seen coordinated media attacks before, like with Joe Rogan when he dared to take a medicine that the mainstream media didn't approve of. And we saw a spate of headlines from media outlets across the world using the same language. I'm aware that you guys have been saying in the comments for a while, watch out, Russell, they're coming for you, you're getting too close to the truth. Russell Brand did not kill himself. I know that a year ago there was a spate of articles, Russell Brand's a conspiracy theorist, Russell Brand's right wing. I'm aware of news media making phone calls, sending letters to people I know for ages and ages. It's been clear to me, or at least it feels to me, like there's a serious and concerted agenda to control these kind of spaces and these kind of voices. And I mean my voice along with your voice. I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack. Now, I don't want to get into this any further because of the serious nature of the allegations, but I feel like I'm being attacked, and plainly they are working very closely together. We are obviously going to look into this matter because it's very, very serious. In the meantime, I want you to stay close, stay awake, but more important than any of that, if you can, please stay free.
Now, let me be clear. I don't know if Russell Brand is guilty of these horrible allegations or not. He's certainly denying it. That was pretty vehement. What we do know is that, yeah, Russell Brand was incredibly promiscuous many years ago. You saw it in the newspapers, the tabloids, on TV all the time. I mean, it was sort of a joke around Hollywood, and they loved him for it. He was a bawdy, rogue, drunken kind of dude who would show up on a late-night talk show and act inappropriately. They loved him then, but they don't love him now. Why? What's different? Well, now, instead of showing up in Hollywood movies and doing stand-up routines, he's doing a podcast. And certainly during the COVID era, it got pretty political. It got pretty contrarian, let's say. He definitely bucks the mainstream media's narrative. Watch.
The legacy media is falling apart. The ability to control the narrative and control the people is starting to change. And because we were all, generally speaking, so compliant in the lockdown era, and then you learn Sweden, who basically said, oh, go about your business, we'll work it out. We're trying to cross-reference it with the economic impact of lockdowns, the impact on cancer, heart disease, diabetes, medical health, addiction. We're looking at it and we're thinking probably a non-interventionist approach. Plus, we're a genuinely liberal democracy who don't secretly crave as much authoritarianism as possible. Because of that, they had a different approach to the pandemic. Now we can see the results. Stay awake, stay aware, keep educating yourself, and remember events of just 6 months ago. Then you'll be better equipped to have conversations.
So Russell Brand 10 years ago could show up on Jimmy Fallon and act like a drunken sex addict fool, and it was just fine. It was funny and it was celebrated. Now this Russell Brand, he needs to be canceled and demonetized and deplatformed. And, you know, there's a bigger narrative here that you need to be paying attention to. You know, if they think that Russell Brand is wrong with his opinions, then God knows they've got enough personalities and enough media power to be able to offer an alternate idea. And then you, with your intelligence, you can make the decision. You can decide who's telling you the truth or not. But they don't want you to have that opportunity. They don't respect your intelligence enough to be able to make that decision. It's kind of like all those people who are trying to keep Donald Trump off the ballot. I mean, if Donald Trump's such a bad guy, then you'd think they'd welcome him on the ballot because they'd beat him because they'd win the election, and you would choose to vote for them instead of Donald Trump. But they don't trust you with your vote. They want to keep him off the ballot because they don't want you to have that choice. Why are you so dangerous to them?